So today, team, we're going to be going through the RDL, which is also known as the Romanian Deadlift, an exercise targeting your hamstrings, your glutes, based on a hinge, so it's a quite tricky one to do. We're going to be going over the common mistakes, the things to look out for, how to make you feel it in your hamstrings and your glutes slightly easier. I'm going to go through literally everything, break it down from the start, make it super easy, make sure you're doing it properly, and make sure you get more out of it without hurting your back. All right, so with an RDL, normally, the difference between this and a deadlift, so a deadlift, you are starting from the floor. Most of the time, when you're doing an RDL, in a general setting, it's going to be an elevated position, because you're not picking it up off the ground. The RDL is going to be, from here down to this position, and that's it. So it shouldn't really be touching the ground. Now, most of you aren't going to have the luxury of having your own rack to reset each time, but I'll show you just off here first what the regular position would be when you're picking it up, because like I said, if you're coming to grab your weights with the RDL, it should already be set up for you around this just below hip height down to your hand, so that's really the perfect position for me. So I can pretty much grab the bar, obviously starting the position properly, and then I'm good to go. At this stage when I'm doing my RDL, I should never really be hitting the floor. Okay, now most of you don't have that luxury, but if you do, just make sure you are picking the bar up properly, shoulders pinned back, bum out, bending through your legs rather than your back. You obviously want to protect your back, picking anything up off the floor. Obviously, if you are then, say if you don't have the luxury of the rack and you're having to deadlift it up, probably not a great look on that, having the small plates there, but basically what you want to be doing, into this position, down to the floor, back nice and straight, think of the deadlift, push through your heels, and you are up to there. And that's where we're starting. Now, I'm going to swing around over here just so I've got a little bit more space near my dumbbells as well, just so I can show you these different RDL positions, because I'm going to start basically right from the very start. So you've picked the barbell up, say if we're doing it with barbell, I'll show you with dumbbells in a minute. Feet are about hip width apart, okay? So not out here, because you're going to struggle getting your hands down. They're hip width, okay? So that's the first position. I'm going to show you from the side now as well, so you can see. The first thing that I want you to think about when you are doing a barbell or any style of RDL or Romanian deadlift is the softness in the knees. Some of you are going to have super flexible hamstrings. I don't, so I don't need to be really, really solid with my knees like this. But this softness in the knees is going to allow us to basically to adjust it and feel the different pull through your hamstrings and your glutes. Now, when you start to this, I always like to think of it as you're shutting a car door with your bum. So the first thing that moves in your hinge movement, your hip hinge, is your bum. All right, so if you look here, and if nothing else, before you start doing this, just practice going there and up, there and up. That's it. That's literally all you need to do. All right, so that there is going to allow you to then practice the full hip hinge. So if you watch, it basically just goes further back. My bum's going back, it's pushing out, pushing out, pushing out. I'm shutting the car door, bang, with my bum. All right, that is the very first thing. If you struggle doing that, a little hack, now it's not perfect, a little hack is to keep your eyes forwards. All right, again, it's not, you don't want to be doing this forever because it's going to just put a bit of pressure through your back. But as you come down, if you're struggling to keep your back straight, keep your eyes up and it forces your back to stay into position. Now again, technically, you want to be keeping your spine nice and neutral and your eyes go down to the floor, but that's a good way of thinking about it. All right, I'm going to move on to the dumbbells now, just so I can show you a few more little tips. But if I move this out of the way, down on the ground, I'll take these out here. So, with dumbbells, what I'm thinking with the dumbbells, or what you should be thinking with the dumbbells, picking up in the same way, is an easier way of showing you when you use dumbbells to show you the position of where they need to be, and a few little cues that I like to give clients to make sure you're feeling it in the right place. So we've nailed basically the hinge. Just think of it again, bum out, back straight. If you're struggling with your back straight, you can look up, or another hack is rolling your shoulders back, chest up, avoid doing a duck waddle like this, but chest up and pinned, all right? So we're here in our RDL position, your bum goes back. Now the cue that I'm going to give is let your hands and your dumbbells roll down your thighs, okay? So you let them roll down, you let them roll down, you let them roll down to this position here, to your knees. Now for me, with someone with tight hamstrings, I'm already starting to feel this now in my hamstrings. You should, at this point, know whether you're in the right position. Now if you can't get your dumbbells over your knees, like so, you know, their knees are in the way, what that tells me is you're sitting too far back, so you're rocking back. An easy correction, if you see what I just did there, I rocked onto my toes, okay? Now I'm trying to keep my heels down on the ground, my legs will start to shake, hopefully, I'm in the right position, and then I know I'm in the right spot. So if you watch again from the start, so I'm here, dumbbells on my thighs, roll down my thighs, oh, I'm sitting back, so they're having to go out and over, which we don't want. So all I'm gonna do, keeping my back straight, is rock onto my toes, trying to keep your heels down, and then suddenly, look, I can get them down to there with no problem. All right, so that's a little hack for you. So, if we're resetting again, we're thinking about this, the whole point of the movement is to hit your glutes and your hamstrings. So if you can't feel it there, either, for a lot of the time you need to go a bit heavier with your weight, but the main thing is normally that positioning with your body. So rocking forwards is a really good thing, and me as a coach, what I like to do is actually come through and tip people forwards. You know, not pushing them over, but like just giving that little nudge forward, and what that does is it forces you to feel it in your hamstrings. Now, common mistakes, if I grab these dumbbells again, you know what I'm gonna say here? Going down in a RDL like this. Not going to gain a lot out your hamstrings like that. So that is easily corrected with a roll back and bum first movement. If you pinch your shoulders back, pinching your shoulder blades, it will make it a lot harder to roll. Now, it's not a bad thing to be, you know, if you've got a hunchback, there's not really a lot you can do. As long as the movement, you're not basically bending in your back, you're okay. Other thing, I see people sometimes either doing too much or too little bend and being locked out with their knees. Remember, we want, if you're thinking about the knee position, we want softness. So if you're RDLing like this and your knees like that, I mean, I can't even do it because my hamstrings, you know, it's going to force you into the wrong position. So just think softness, all right? Remember, it's not a deadlift, so we're not going in a squat. This is a hinge where you're pushing your hips back, bum straight. Sorry, hips back, bum out. Hips back, bum out, back straight. So, last thing I'm probably going to say for this, and this is about feeling the movement. I would prefer for you to slow your RDLs down and just do it with literally no weight on the bar to start with, just to start with, because then that's going to force you to get your back position done properly. If you are feeling, cool, I'm in that position, I'm getting down, that's then when we can start loading the weights up, okay? So it's very key to start a little bit lighter with this, and actually then you can start pushing the weights up. And it's an easy thing to do is keep bumping up and up and up. If you are then starting to feel it in your lower back, that is normally, I mean, look, it could be a few things, but normally that's because there's a curve in that position there and you're going RDLing like this, or your weight's too far away from you. Again, if you think about weight positioning, if you hold a weight there with your hands compared to out there, it's a lot heavier. So if you've already got a sensitive back and your weight is all the way out here, all that's going to do is just pull on my back even more, okay? And another thing as well, look, I'm trying to correct all these different areas at once. If you're over curved and then you go down, it's the same as if you over curve in a squat, you're going to feel it in your lower back as well. So my key takeaways are pinning your shoulders back before you start the movement. Have a reset each time. I like to do a little wiggle just to kind of reset the movement. Shoulders pinned back, chest up, back straight. You're thinking close the car door with your bum. And then the last little tip, or last two tips, are down your thighs, so touch your thighs, and then rock forwards just at that last point by keeping your heels on the ground. Okay, so hopefully that's helped. If you're not sure, drop me a question. If you're not sure, again, on top of that, I'll try and help and reach out to you. But if there's anything else you need, let me know.